start by telling us, as far as you remember, what happened with your offense?
I was 17 when I got charged, and I got charged when I just got turned 18. It was like probably 3 months after I turned 18, and it was carnal knowledge of a minor. Basically, I had intercourse stuff with a minor who basically told me that she was 16, but she was 14. So, and from there, the mother didn't press charges. The Commonwealth of Virginia pressed charges on me, and because she knew the sense of what I was charged. I mean, she knew her daughter, I guess, basically, when she was lying and stuff. So the Commonwealth just picked it up because it was against the law.
And was it a one-time thing?
Well, I mean, we was like in a relationship, so I mean, you know, it was like probably about 3 or 4 times.
How did you meet her?
Through a friend of mine, actually, that used to date her, matter of fact, and he was like 18 years old or something, so, you know, I didn't even check with the age or nothing like that. So.
Were you going to school at the time?
I was going to Liberty University then.
And was she in high school?
I don't know what school she was in, middle. I mean, it was only like the break when I came in. It was like winter break.
How did the Commonwealth find out?
Between the fact that the mother found out that she was involved with, like, I guess like 8 or 10 other people, older people and stuff. I was like the youngest one of the whole group, and so I guess they just had a big issue about it because there was a set of twins. I mean, it was her and her sister. They both was involved with the sexual acts and stuff. So
she was having a relationship with other people as well as you?
Yeah. I mean, it was all before. It wasn't all at the same time. It was all different people. I was like the last one out of the whole bunch.
And did other people have charges pressed against him as well?
Yes, there was like 6 or 7 people involved. Yeah, between the 2 sisters.
And you had a trial, and did the sister appear as a witness in that trial?
Actually, she was going there to go stand, but for the fact that of her dignity and stuff, I decided to go ahead and, you know, try to go ahead and go through the plea and stuff and not have the cause. I mean, because I really didn't know what was going on. I mean, it's the first charge I ever had as something that serious as a felony.
So you pled guilty?
Yeah.
And what happened after you pled guilty?
Altogether, I ended up getting 3.5 years.
And was that time all served, or was some of it?
Yeah, it was all served. I had 3.5 years all served, but I had like 5 years over my head.
So were you on probation then after you got it?
For 5 years.
And how long after your probation ended did it take for you to get back in jail?
It's been over 10 years since I've been in jail. So.
What is life like for you, I guess, when you're outside of jail? How often do you have to register with the state?
Once every 90 days now. They went from, at first they had me as nonviolent sex offender, which I did my whole time, was on probation. Then my probation officer came back. I mean, the nonviolent, then you didn't have to register. I mean, you had to register, but your picture wasn't online and stuff like that. And then that July after I came out, or it might have been 2 years after I came out, I mean, I was still in probation, but my probation officer came back and said, sorry that I had to put you on a picture now on their website because they're changing the law with having everybody that's a sex offender online in the picture and stuff, and because stuff was going on with other sex offenders, and, you know, basically ruined it for people who actually just messed up, you know. Everybody's got to be on picture, everybody's got to register 90 days, everybody's considered a violent sex offender now. So, I mean, I went from nonviolent to violent just because the law changed.
Has being on the registry affected your ability to get work?
It sure has. I mean, I've been honest to people when I go to my jobs and stuff, and you know, and it's only been like 2 jobs that I actually had, or 3 jobs since I've been out. And I mean, there's no going around it. You have to tell them anyway, and, you know, and hope the best.
And what were the stipulations in your plea agreement?
My stipulations, it really had to stay away from her until she was 18 or something like that. which that was no problem. And it just, you really ain't supposed to be around no kids and stuff, but I mean, he made more he changed the stipulations because when I got out, I was married to my wife. I've been married to my wife almost 8 years now. She got 3 kids and all 3 girls, and the judge made an order for me to be around them kids and stuff and know that I wouldn't be a threat to them. And so, I mean, he's taken to the point that, you know, he knows for me that I'm not a violent person, and I mean, he's known me since, childhood and stuff, but the law's the law, and I guess he's got to stipulate some stuff and can't go around schools and stuff. But he made too, since my kids are in programs and stuff, I could be around stuff as long as there's adult supervision around, and like I can go to like little concerts and stuff and things like that, you know. So he did give me some kind of leeway for it.
Did your sex offense, you think, play a role in you being back in jail now?
Matter of fact, when I went to court on my charge this time, I really respected just probation. You know, I've never been in trouble for it. It's a drug offense. I've never been in trouble with drugs in my whole life. And like I said, for me being in jail has been the fact of me not having a job because I am selling drugs. And so, and there's only 5 pills I sold, and I ended up being back in here. But he did tell me that, he told me before I left, he said, since my record from the last time I've been here, in over 10 years, he said, my record will always reflect me. It's just going to get worse if I get into trouble again. So it don't matter. It can be something from driving on suspended to anything. I mean, now I got a year and 5 months, off of a drug charge that I've never been in trouble before with. So, I mean, other people have got different deals and stuff, and my charges, you know, it just, a lot of people don't see why I got that much time. Now a lot of people know that what I used to be charged with, you know, but I can see now since he told me that, that's how they relating it. But that's been over 10 years. I mean, that was in 2001. So it's 2012, and this is the only trouble I've been in since then. It goes both ways. I mean, to me, you know, I was 15. One story that the judge never heard before I got my charge, I was 15 years old, and I had a baby about 21-year-old. So, I mean, she didn't get charged. I mean, she fled, and I got a son, you know, at 15 years old, and, you know, and I didn't play it like, you know, that was like against the law or something like that, because I was just young then, you know. So, I mean, it's just, I'm looking at myself. I mean, I looked at myself at the time, you know, here I am with the same situation, but I'm getting charged and facing time. But then I got a kid, and the woman's 21 years old, was in college, and I was 15, and, you know, what's the justice going in with her, you know? My whole family knew about it and everything, but nobody pursued no charges. I mean, nobody can get a hold of her or anything. And it just, I mean, it just don't seem like the court system is equal, I mean.
And you said that the girl that you had a relationship with was 13 at the time, but she told you she was 16.
Yeah.
Do you think that some of the blame should be put on her?
I mean, it is, I mean, because at the time she was drinking, smoking, doing all the stuff that I guess teenage kids or whatever end up doing and stuff like that, you know, around that age. I mean, I know I did around that age, and it was 16, 17 years old, I mean, and, you know, not everybody go sit there and go ask for somebody for their ID or something, you know. I mean, what really got me, though, when I first got my time, when I came in here, it just seemed like bulletin boards and everything start coming up. Like there was one in Virginia Beach that had a bulletin board, I looked in the newspaper, said, don't you think she's a little bit too young? And it says on the paper, I mean, but if stuff around here in schools and stuff, none of this stuff's been talked about. You know, I mean, just for one example, now the 8th graders are going, my daughter's in the 8th grade going to high school, you know, that's what I'm worried about. I mean, because the girl, I mean, we was in the middle school together, middle school and high school in Primary Chloride was together at the time I was in school, so, you know, everybody had different classes and stuff, so I really didn't know which was what. I mean, what her classes was, what grade she was really in. You know, she told me how old she was, and that was it. So.
Have you talked to her since then?
No, not at all. But I mean, I know she's married to a friend of mine that I know and stuff, but I don't know if she's told the story before. I mean, but everybody knew around the town about what's going on. Everybody knew that, you know, I gotta really, I mean, it was weird because I got the most time out of everybody, and the oldest one was like 26 years old and had the baby with one of the kids, one of the twins, and got less time than I did. So, but the only thing that's different of that between me and everybody else is they've been back in here for the same time, I've looked at the paper for the same charges or something similar, and I'm the only one that hadn't been back in here for something like that. I mean, because like I said, mine was a mistake. I can't say it was an accident. It was a mistake. I mean, but I mean, there's people every time doing the same thing and stuff, and I was just looking at people, you know, and just, I mean, they don't understand it's wrong. I mean, but people knew. I mean, I don't lie to nobody. I don't lie to my kids. I told my kids why I got in trouble and everything, and you know, but it is what it is. I mean, I was hoping that down the line that I'll be able to write the judge or whoever about getting stuff expunged, but I heard they can't get that expunged or getting taken off or nothing, you know. But I mean, it should be some kind of stipulation where you should be able to have the chance to get it off the record. You know.
How long after your relationship with the girl were you arrested?
Probably like a month after. Yeah. A month right after. I mean, actually they told me they didn't think they didn't think they was gonna press no charges. The woman was gonna press no charges on me, but then turn around the next day or something. The Commonwealth attorney had pressed charges on me, and which has really been just crazy because the Commonwealth attorney at the time now is the judge now. So I'm just seeing like I'm getting, when I got my charge this time, it seemed like I'm just getting railroaded because he was the judge. He was a Commonwealth attorney at the time. Knows what I went through then, and then comes back, you know, and knows for the fact that I've been here for 10 years. He was the. I mean, it just both ways. It was there in Rockbridge County at the same time, the same girl, just different places or whatever, you know. And they dropped a lot of charges down because I mean it was from. It's one relationship. We was in a relationship, but they made it look like it was like different, separate times, like different charges. And I just don't know how it just came with separate charges instead of one charge, you know, because the fact that we supposedly been in a relationship. But I didn't pass it to. I mean, I had a friend of mine too. I mean, he actually got married to this girl that actually was 14 years old, you know, and then. You sit there and think about it, you know, if you had permission or something, you know, it's like for marriage or whatever, you'd be able to get married, you know, but then something like this happens, you know, basically you get married, you get permission to have sexual intercourse or something like that, you know, but then something like this happens and, you know, it's a charge, so.